Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce, my name is Khaeriyah Al-Fadhilah with NIM 20400120085 PBI-C class. In this video, I will explain about gathering information of a needs analysis in the course Curriculum Development and Learning. So, to discuss this topic, we must answer these questions. Number 1, what does gathering information mean? And number 2, what things are important to do? Well, gathering information refers to the process of collecting data related to the facts recognized as needs in curriculum development. There are at least 2 important things to do. It is distributing the questionnaire to the participant of a needs analysis and processing the data from the questionnaire, and another instrument for data collection to be listed on a needs inventory. How to distribute the questionnaires? As for the following: number 1, manual distribution, which is where meet the participants in a room or large number of participants, example Khaeriyah, target group over 20 students, and meet the participants in person or small number of participants, example Khaeriyah, source group less than 10 teachers or can be called hand-to-hand. And number 2, virtual distribution. Send the questionnaires to the participants' email address to be completed and sent back after the completion. Example Khaeriyah, audience group who live in different cities from the research due to their jobs or professions, or also called using Google Form, or the question is scanned and then sent via email or made a Word, but is done in case of an emergency situation. And processing information from the questionnaires. Decide what sort of information is required, introduction or personal information, and perceptions on the need of speaking course availability. Linguistic needs, abilities, students' level of proficiency, priorities, language items that considered the most important to learn. Learning needs or problems, weakness, and difficulties in learning, and attitudes participants feeling toward the elements of the programs and how they prefer to learn, example Khaeriyah, learning styles and preference. So how to process the information are as follows. Number 1, tabulating the information, and number 2, presenting the data in the form of tables, and number 3, providing analysis regarding the data. Tabulating the information. Tabulating means to arrange information from the questionnaires in columns on a page so that it can be analyzed, providing a form of data recapitulation. Example Khaeriyah, data derived from resource group or 11 graduates. As for presenting the data in the form of tables, the first is calculating the frequency to find out average or mean scores. It is multiplying the score category with frequency, adding up all the scores and dividing by the population. And the second is making tables to present the data, example Khaeriyah, level of the importance of speaking subject. And the last, describing the mean scores by using scales, is score scale and description scale. Providing analysis regarding the data. An analysis is required for data description. It should be done in 3 ways. Number 1, giving comments to the data presentation or commonly focus on special information, example Khaeriyah, the highest scores which can be categorized into a very important level. And number 2, providing relevant supporting information or analytical statement based on the presented data supported by statements of the participants in the interview. And number 2, drawing conclusion, or showing the most important information gained from the data presentation, which may be supported by literatures or other relevant research findings. The most importantly, what we said in this part can be seen as a supporting literature by other researchers. For example of providing analysis regarding the data, comments. From the data presented in Table 4.3, it is obviously seen that speaking to native English speakers is in the top position of the average score, 3.38, which belongs to important category. However, from the students' perspective, most of them consider that speaking English to native speakers of English is put forward in very important level. This category reached the highest average score, that is 3.59, and followed by speaking to lecturers, 3.31, supporting information. Speaking to native English speakers was dominantly selected by the students because they think that communicating with native speakers of English can be used as a measurement to find out their speaking skill progress. The more native speakers understand all the students say, the better their speaking skill is. This reason was described by one of the students in the interview. Student 10. I think we need to measure how good our speaking skill is after we learn it 4 years in the college. As for me, speaking with native speakers of English can be a measurement to find out how good our speaking skill in terms of grammar correctness, vocabulary selection, pronunciation appropriateness, and cultural context. The better our skill in speaking, in other words, the English native speakers understand all we say without misunderstanding, the better our speaking skill as well. Interview November 22nd, 2013. And the conclusion is, based on the statement, it seems that the students prefer to speak English to native English speakers because they find many advantages from speaking with them, such as native English speakers are much better at explaining grammar mistakes. Native English speakers provide accurate and authentic pronunciation models for the students. Native English speakers innately understand the appropriateness of words usage in conversation. Native speakers understand native English speaking cultural norms and can provide insight about them when communicating with the students. Native speakers speak English as it is actually spoken in English-speaking countries. For the reason, the students are sure that they have good English when they can effectively communicate with native English speakers without misunderstanding due to inappropriate use of grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, as well as cultural norms of English. This can possibly be cited by other researchers when they need supporting literature about what good English looks like. We must understand the meaning of the score is to use a scale and include a description of which. The main goal is to facilitate the learning process, anticipate, and decide to continue study. Maybe that's all I can say. More or less, please forgive me. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.